Do you love murder mystery? Know the difference between solid evidence and a red herring? Have you got what it takes to catch a killer? Welcome to the TV show with only one question. Who done it? Armchair Detectives, the show where these 15 murder mystery enthusiasts will try and solve a deadly crime by the end of today's programme. Our amateur sleuths are placed at the centre of a fictional investigation set in Mortcliffe, a sleepy village with a serious homicide problem. They'll watch the drama play out as Mortcliffe's top coppers spring into action. There they are, lead investigator D.I. Knight, DC Slater and their scene of crime officer, Simmons. They look like they can take care of themselves, don't they? Before we head to Mortcliffe for the first time, let's meet our armchair detectives. Hello, armchair detectives.
Hello.
Are you all ready to solve some crime?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, my word, they're champing at the bit. Well, only 3 of you play each day, so take your armchairs. Roger, Catherine and Wisdom. Come on up. Welcome. Catherine, when you're not an armchair detective, what do you do for a living?
I am a recently retired librarian.
Lovely. What's your favourite detective in fiction?
Lord Peter Wimsey.
Oh, I love Lord Peter Wimsey.
It's said that he was Dorothy Sayers' ideal man.
He was my ideal husband, Catherine, which is why I've turned out the way I am, because he's not real. Roger, what do you do when you're not being an armchair detective?
I write murder mystery novels.
Oh, well, that's handy, isn't it? So do you think that's going to help you out today by any chance?
Well, I sincerely hope so, otherwise I'm going to shoot myself right in the foot.
Well, good luck, Roger. So, Wisdom, what do you do when you're not being an armchair detective?
When I'm not being an armchair detective, I'm at work. I'm a children's entertainer. I make balloons and do magic.
I'm quite excited by that. So, armchair detectives, whichever one of you correctly guesses the killer will get their hands on one of these. Our very own golden magnifying glass trophy. Ooh. Now, I'll be trying to solve the crime with you at home as we go along too, so I'm as invested as you are in this. It's time for round 1, the crime scene. Knight and Slater meet Simmons, who tells them all they need to know about today's victim. Notepads at the ready and you at home. For the first time ever, let's head over to a very windy Mortcliffe.
Patricia Frint, sir, local artist, known for her seascapes and harbour scenes. You all right, sir?
Never better. Hello, Simmons. Anything concrete yet?
Red dots in the victim's eyes, water in her lungs and a thin red line around her neck.
Strangulation?
But it looks that way. Not sure yet if the cause of death is strangulation, though, or drowning. Can't tell you the exact time of death either. She's been immersed in water. Roughly, though, I'd say sometime yesterday afternoon.
Is that the victim's phone?
Yeah, we found it on the body. Salt water's a device killer, though. We'll send it off for analysis in case there's anything we can retrieve. The owner of the boat, Bob Tanzer, he found Patricia tangled up in a net. He's pretty distraught. He knew her.
Where is he now?
Said he was heading off to the fishmongers.
Thanks.
Cheers, Simmons.
See you.
What's your name?
Hiya, Bob.
You heard about Patricia?
Darren said she was caught in your net.
Yeah, that really frightened my life. Obviously, we stopped fishing after what happened, so I've nothing to deliver, I'm sorry.
No bother. I wasn't expecting it. Can I help you?
D.I. Knight, this is DC Slater. Did either of you know Patricia Frint?
Really well. She used to be a close friend.
Do you know if she was married?
She didn't trust men much. I don't know why.
Any idea why anyone would want her dead?
Unrequited love.
With Patricia?
Everybody liked Patricia. You know, one of her paintings was stolen from the gallery yesterday. The exhibition only just opened there. Bob's pretty cut up about that too. He was planning to buy it.
Thank you very much. We'll be in touch.
Well, there we go. Lots of information in that first film. Catherine didn't stop writing. At one point, I wanted to shout, "Look up, Catherine! Look at it!"
The young lady in the behind the fishmonger's slab was not telling the truth.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I think she's protecting somebody or something in regards to that. Bob genuinely does feel distraught, but at the same time, that could be an act.
Let's just go over the facts. Today, we're investigating the death of Patricia Frint. Patricia was 40 years old and an artist. Prior to this, she was an accountant. Patricia was single. The cause of death is suspected drowning or strangulation, and the time of death is still under investigation. Although the body may have been in the water from Thursday afternoon.
She doesn't seem like somebody who would want to cause any trouble. So yeah, for somebody to do that, they must have had a specific vendetta, or she's done something specifically to that person.
Catherine, what do you think about Patricia?
Red dots in the eyes, that's strangulation.
It would be a petechial hemorrhage.
A petechial hemorrhage, yes.
I have a qualification in forensic medicine. Look at me now. So,
I'm intrigued by the remark about unrequited love.
yes.
Yes.
OK, well, the suspects so far, Armchair Detectives, are Bob Tanzer, fisherman, and Janine Hanks, the fishmonger.
Bob would have to be a highly incompetent murderer if he actually wanged somebody off the quayside and then managed to get them snagged up in his own nets.
Interesting. OK, guys, in each round, you'll get to interrogate a piece of evidence more closely. So this is a photo from the Art Lovers Gallery opening night of Patricia's exhibition. This picture features some of the people who were present at the exhibition. And in this picture is a painting of Patricia's, and there's a close-up here to give you some more details. Now, talk me through anything that immediately jumps out at you. Roger?
Is that Bob's boat?
Is that the painting that Bob wanted to buy?
These are all good questions.
Now, you can obviously do more than one thing with the boat, but clearly a fishing boat. So why are they lifting on or off a great crate?
OK, guys, it's time for round 2, last movements. We'll start piecing together Patricia Frint's final days, what she did and who she saw. Armchair Detectives, notepads at the ready. Let's head back to Mortcliffe.
I have the paperwork ready if you'd like to read it.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Welcome. Popular lady.
Harassed, more like. Right, is this it?
Yep.
How's the family settled?
Settled and tanned. Can't wait to see them. You belong in this gallery, Patricia. You really do.
Yep.
Yep, I think it suits me.
It's your best collection yet. Oh, well done.
Thank you so much. Jan, I am
Listen, no,
so
I'm
sorry.
so
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Look, this is your day, so let's enjoy it, eh?
There's been a lot of interest, Patricia.
Oh, see, I told you.
Oh, God.
Congratulations. Seriously.
Thank you.
She needs to mingle.
Lovely work, Patsy.
Patricia.
The one at the window. 600 quid?
I'm sorry.
I'm serious.
700 quid, that's what I'd pay for it.
You can't even afford to paint your boat, Bob.
Look, the exhibition's up all month. Why don't you come and talk to me in a couple of weeks?
Why won't you sell it to me? My money not good enough for you?
Sensitive much?
Shut your mouth.
What?
I'm not going to sell anything to you now.
You'll regret this.
You need to back off, pal.
I'm not your pal.
You can't behave like that in here. Take your bling with you. You're a rude prat.
You okay?
Oh, just, Bob, leave me alone.
We interrupt this programme to bring you breaking news. Mortcliffe's Art Lover Gallery has been the target of an overnight raid. The police have confirmed that the premises were burgled and a painting by local artist Patricia Flint was stolen. No other items were removed from the gallery.
Well, there's more drama happening there than in a ladies' toilets at a nightclub on a Saturday night.
There's a lot of competition for that painting, isn't there? There's a lot of people want to get their hands on it.
Yes.
I was trying to get straight what we just saw. She's parked on the harbour side, and she hears, presumably, the local radio saying there's been a burglary. She runs there. That was when something happens to her, that she's attacked in there.
Wisdom, what do you think?
Mr. Treadwell, what does he make his money in? What does he do? And why did he want that painting so badly? Because Bob, if that painting is Bob's boat, understandable. But at the same time, with Mr. Treadwell, I don't know what his motive is. I don't know what his angle is.
Well, I tell you, let's take another look at the suspects board and start piecing all of this together. You've got Bob Tanzer, fisherman, Janine Hanks, the fishmonger, and from the exhibition opening photograph, we now know that is Geoffrey Fraser, who's the gallery owner, and we also have Darren Treadwell, who's an importer.
Importer.
Yes, I saw you go.
It's got flashing yellow lights, you know, ex-import expert, covers a multitude of sins.
It does.
That painting may have had a specific delivery which he didn't want people to see.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why he wants to buy it. He doesn't want that to get into the wrong hands.
Yeah, that could be an interesting course of inquiry.
OK, well, I've given you a piece of evidence already. Now is your chance to pick another one from the following list. Decide amongst yourself as a group which one you fancy. We've got the paperwork from Geoffrey's desk, or Darren's watch, and finally, pictures of the gallery break-in.
Yeah, I'm not sure we get anything from Darren's watch at this stage.
I don't
Would
think
we?
we do.
It could be a fake watch, which basically makes him look like, oh, he's got money.
I was sort of vaguely going towards the gallery break-in. It's possible we could tell whether it was an inside job.
If you want to go with that, I'm happy to fall in with you.
You will have a chance to look at some of the evidence later. This is not your only chance. It's just your first piece of evidence. So which one do you want to go for?
I'd want to go for the pictures of the break-in, I think.
Yeah, I'll go with Catherine on that.
Happy with that?
Yep.
OK. You have gone for pictures of the gallery break-in, and I can tell you they're photographs which Geoffrey Fraser took on his phone. You've got the empty easel there. You've got some form of twine, and that's the door, and you can see the marks on the door. So that's the gallery break-in.
I've seen gemmed doors before, and generally they look a bit more gemmed than that. It doesn't look forced to me, that door.
He could have taken those at any time. It could have been set up.
Well, Armchair Detectives, it's time to lock in your prime suspect. Who do you think is most likely to be the killer so far? What I need you to do is write that name down in your detective notepads now. OK, so tell me who is your prime suspect and why Roger?
On the evidence we have so far, I'm thinking about Jeffrey. I think we have something of an inside job going on.
OK. Catherine?
I've gone for Darren. There's something odd about that, the crate and the boat.
OK. Wisdom?
I've also gone for Darren. He just seems too shady and too overly aggressive for somebody who you've just met for the first time.
Well, there are our suspects so far. We've got Jeffrey and 2 Darrens. Let's see if that changes throughout the show. It's on to round 3 now, the police interviews. Knight and Slater have called in all 4 suspects for questioning. Who's hiding secrets and who can we trust? Notepads at the ready, it's off to Mortcliffe Police Station.
We've known each other for a long time, around 10 years or so, I'd say. My shop wasn't doing that well, so I'd asked Patricia for a loan, but she refused. She said she didn't have any spare cash, which I found hard to believe.
The day of the murder, can you account for your whereabouts?
I was in the shop all day, same as always. Patricia sent me a text saying that perhaps she could lend me the money after all and that we should meet up. That was the last I ever heard of her.
Thank you very much. Just need air.
Sir, for the record, D.I. Knight has left the room. I'm sorry.
Can you tell us about the opening of Patricia's exhibition?
I don't know which was worse, Darren and his obnoxiousness or Bob and his obsequiousness. I think they both drove Patricia mad. Anyway, she refused to sell the painting and Darren stormed off in a huff.
When was the last time you saw or heard from Patricia?
Well, she sent me a text to say that she was concerned about the burglary and she was having second thoughts about buying the gallery. I sent her a message back, said come in and have a chat. She came in, she was still undecided, she left, and that was the last time I saw her.
Well, I was in love with her. I'm not ashamed to say it. But she'd been hurt. Badly. She'd fallen in love with a man, a fraudster. He embezzled all her money, ended up in prison. It made her mistrustful.
And Patricia told you all of this?
She didn't need to. This tells me everything I need to know. Oh, I'm psychic, you see.
Right.
We have data on Patricia's mobile phone. You sent her a lot of messages, almost 4 a day.
I just wanted her to know that she wasn't alone in this world.
Clearly, Patricia didn't see things the same way. You were harassing her.
I was in love with her. Why would I harass her?
When was the last time you heard from Patricia?
I saw her at her exhibition. I sent her a text the next day, and then I went fishing. She responded, I think, that afternoon, but I didn't get it till the following morning when I got signal back at the harbour.
What did she say?
She was quite aggressive. Not like her usual self. Well, maybe I crossed a line. Is that everything?
That's all for now. You're free to go. Can you smell the harbour, sir?
Just get me a coffee,
yes,
please.
Sir. You were an art collector, Mr. Treadwell?
Yes, I've collected for years. Patricia has a real talent. I love her style and colour.
Indeed. Which artist would you say her style reminds you of?
Jackson Pollock. Definitely.
Doesn't he just do splashes?
He does. Everything, really.
So Patricia didn't want to sell you her painting. Why was that?
She had some story about wanting to sell the entire collection, which is absolute rubbish. No one in Morcliffe was going to buy an entire collection. No one's got walls large enough. Besides, I was offering her big money.
That's a nice watch. Looks expensive.
Yes, it is. And it's telling me I'm wasting my time in here, so get on with it.
Where were you on the afternoon of the murder, Mr. Treadwell?
Working. And then I had some chores to do.
Can anyone verify that?
Of course.
Well, now, lots and lots of information from the police interviews.
I'm looking at the fishmonger. Janine asked to borrow money and Patricia said no. Why would that cause you to get very angry and say things that could potentially break up a 10-year friendship?
There's clearly something's gone on between the two of them. Catherine, what do you think?
Mr. Fraser said he had a phone call from the victim to say she was concerned about the burglary.
Yeah.
But we saw her hear about it in the car. We then saw her going straight into the gallery. So either he's telling lies or he knows something about what happened.
The fact that she had been defrauded of all her money at some point, but yet she was talking about buying the gallery. Well, that's not something you can do for tuppence.
OK, guys, once again, you can pick a piece of evidence to help you out. And we've added a new one to the list. We now have the paperwork from Jeffrey's desk, Darren's watch, or this new piece of evidence, text messages found on Patricia's phone.
Paperwork. That's what I think. She read it, then she put it back on the desk. She didn't sign it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the paperwork this time.
Paperwork?
Yeah, I'm happy to go with that.
OK, so you've chosen the paperwork from Jeffrey's desk, and it's an agreement for the sale of a business between Jeffrey Fraser and Patricia Frint, and we've got a post-it there saying, for you to sign.
But we were told she'd pulled out of that.
Yeah, but she...
So it didn't happen. But on the other hand, you don't persuade somebody that they've made a mistake and really ought to buy your gallery by strangling them.
He may have had some financial difficulties himself.
Would killing her cure them?
Killing her, getting rid of the body, taking her paintings and sending them somewhere else.
What this definitely shows is there was an intention from at least one party to buy and sell the business. Armchair Detectives, write down who your prime suspect is now. OK, so let's see who you've picked. Roger, last time you picked Jeffrey. Have you changed your mind?
I haven't. It's more a case of absence of clear motives from the other suspects that hasn't enabled me to rule him out yet.
OK. Catherine, last time you went for Darren. Have you changed your mind?
Yes.
Who have you gone for this time?
The gallery owner.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
So you've gone for Jeffrey as
Yes.
well?
It's the lie he told when he said he'd had a phone call from Patricia, and that's a pretty serious thing to have told a lie about.
And Wisdom, last time your prime suspect was Darren. Have you changed your mind?
Yeah.
Who have you gone for?
I've gone for Bob.
Why Bob?
He's got the strength. He also has the motive.
Excellent theories from all of you. Now it's time for round 4. Dig deeper. Let's see what Patricia Frint was doing 2 weeks before her death.
Why paint a truck and a crate on the dock?
Why not?
It's not very artsy.
No, but it is authentic.
200.
I'm sorry.
Needs to be higher. 400. And I'll pay you cash.
I'm very flattered, but this is actually going to be part of an exhibition.
What's all this? Huh. Is that me?
Could be anyone, really. Don't get your hopes up. I'm serious. If you're thinking of selling, I'll be willing to buy.
This is not what you think, Bob.
I can wait. Till you've sorted out your age and your pain. I'll be here always.
I want you to leave me alone.
You put me in your painting.
There's a figure of a man in the painting. If you were not offloading the crate and somebody else was, I'd have put him in it. It's a male figure, nothing else. I want you to stop bothering me, Bob. Please. I mean it.
I agree. I agree. The murmurs from the Armchair Detectives. So, you wanted to know a little bit more about Darren?
He's desperate to buy that painting.
Isn't he just?
He is.
He really wants that painting.
He's got money to burn.
Mm-hmm.
Two people are basically flinging around money for it. She's still not selling it.
She won't sell it to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
She won't sell it to them. That's the point. It's the fact that we heard these offloading the crate because it's not obvious. That crate was on Bob's boat, so one presumed that Bob must have known what was in it.
Yes. It's not what you would expect,
No.
is it? Well, let's take a look at the suspect board. And I can tell you now that is all of your suspects. What are you thinking?
It's only Jeffrey at the moment where there's an unexplained lie. He said that she phoned him about the picture or about buying the gallery when we know she didn't.
OK, guys, it's time for you to pick your evidence. You can have Darren's watch. You can have the text messages found on Patricia's phone. And the new item of evidence, the crate's shipping manifest.
Oh.
I'm assuming that we're all thinking the same thing.
I'm thinking we're thinking the manifest.
There we go.
That done.
Quickest discussion in history. You've chosen the crate's manifest. The origin port is Shantou, China. It's apparently containing 450 cartons of 1 litre orange juice.
Do people normally import cartons of orange juice by fishing boat?
I mean, I haven't really seen that happen a lot before, Roger.
So we have, I suspect, a fake manifest.
I think that's completely bogus.
From China?
450. Either you'd import a ship full of containers of orange juice. You wouldn't just have one little crate on a fishing boat.
Unless you bought it wholesale.
No.
It's full of watches from an unspecified source, isn't it?
What do you think?
You get watches, fake watches from China, that I believe.
Yeah.
450 cartons of 1 litre orange juice?
No! From China.
That has certainly put the cat among the pigeons, though. But guys, it's time to pick your prime suspect again. Write down your prime suspect now. You can have Bob, Janine, Jeffrey or Darren. Who's your prime suspect? Roger, last time your prime suspect was Jeffrey. Have you changed your mind?
I have. I'm looking
Roger.
I'm looking at Darren now.
Right, it was Jeffrey, and now you've gone for Darren. What changed your mind?
Orange juice gate.
Orange juice gate. OK. Catherine, last time your prime suspect was Jeffrey. Have you changed your mind?
No, I'm sticking with Jeffrey.
OK.
I think I'm still find his lying about
that
the phone call.
You can't let that go, can you, Catherine?
No.
Wisdom, last time you went for Bob. Have you changed your mind?
Nope.
Still with Bob?
Still with Bob. In the last exchange that they had, what I got from Bob is if I can't have you, no one can.
So you think it's a romantic kind of a crime of passion?
Yeah.
OK. Well, we're hurtling towards closing this case. It's round 5, the final clues.
So that's for today's stuff, is it? Yeah. Right. And these orange juice are in these crates. Okay, that's interesting. Wow. Do you know? Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. No problem. Cheers. All right, sir. How was the dentist appointment?
Painful.
Oh, did tell you to cut down on those fizzy drinks, sir.
So what's new?
Well, I just spoke to the harbour master and he told me that Bob usually collects a small shipping container once a month from Edinburgh.
So he's not just a fisherman?
No, apparently not. The pickup is for Darren. It comes from China and Bob collects it from Edinburgh. Maybe Darren does it to give Bob a bit of extra work.
So on the day that Patricia... what's her surname?
Frint.
On the day that Patricia Frint's body's found, he hasn't done any fishing at all?
No. Here's the manifest, sir.
Yeah. 450 litres of orange juice.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of orange juice, isn't it?
Orange juice from China, though? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, he says the crates are usually full of this stuff.
All right, genius. How much does that crate hold?
Well... Why was Patricia found in Bob's net if he wasn't fishing?
Indeed. And what else was in that crate? Simmons!
9. The red spots we identified in Patricia's eyes were caused by hemorrhaging.
So the cause of death was strangulation?
Correct. She was strangled before she was dumped in the sea. The water in her lungs is there from being in the ocean for about 12 hours. Oh, and another thing, we've done the analysis on Patricia's mobile. Bob sent all of his from the docks, Jeffrey sent all of his from the gallery, and Patricia sent all of hers from home.
Thank you.
Oh, any chance you could pick up some fish for me?
Sorry, Simmons, we've just left the docks.
Ah, okay.
It's just an allergy, sir. It's nothing to be ashamed of.
It's not an allergy. Ah, Mr. Treadwell. Your secretary kindly let us in.
Nice frame.
It's not what it looks like.
Isn't it?
I just wanted the frame. I was happy to pay for the painting, but Patricia wouldn't have it.
And you think that's a good enough reason for burglary, do you?
Where is the painting, Mr. Treadwell?
I disposed of it.
Well, we'll be handing that over to our colleagues. I think we've got everything we need.
Well, Roger practically gave himself a standing ovation there when he saw the watches. Roger, do you think that might have been what was in the crates, Roger?
I think it's a racing certainty.
Yes.
I don't think that one crate of Chinese watches is going to be something to kill for. I really don't.
But then in saying that, he probably didn't want people to know that the watches came from China, that the watches he was selling to other people were fake. But then obviously Patricia, on that day, is doing a painting of the crate coming through. OK, so let's pick your final piece of evidence. You have just 2 pieces of evidence left to choose from. You'll only see one before you make your final accusation. So you can have either Darren's watch or the text messages found on Patricia's phone. Why the watch?
He just grabbed a nice-looking watch from his new consignment. I'd like to see those text messages.
Yes. You need a consensus?
Text messages.
Wisdom, The consensus is text messages. Are you OK with that?
No, but...
Great. So we're watching the... After tests on Patricia's phone, we've recovered text messages to and from Jeffrey, Bob and Janine. Here's the first one. Bob. Fancy a cup of coffee? No, thank you. Go on, paint me? No, thank you. Look, I've told you before to leave me alone. Next set. Jeffrey. Contract's ready. Just heard about the break-in. We need to talk. Come down when you can. I'm in the gallery cleaning up. Next one. Janine. Don't have the money available. Actually, I've reconsidered things. We should catch up. It's been a while. So 3 sets of text messages. Jeffrey, Bob and Janine.
Doesn't that suggest that the reason why Janine has the money is that she's decided not to buy the gallery? And also, the text in the middle. I'm in the gallery cleaning up.
Why is he cleaning up a crime scene?
He can't know.
Why isn't he on the...
say that?
But what about the Bob text messages?
I don't see murder in that.
I do.
But this, I'm afraid, Armchair Detectives, is the big moment. You've seen most of the evidence, you've met all of the suspects, and you're about to make your final accusation for the chance of winning the golden magnifying glass trophy. I need you to write down who you're accusing, and you at home, who's your prime suspect? Write it down as well. It's time to answer the only question that matters. Who done it? OK, time's up, Armchair Detectives. Please put your pens down. Let's find out who you've accused. Roger, who are you accusing?
Janine.
What? Where's that come from, Roger?
The two women have been friends for a long time. It's cooled, it's warmed. We don't know the nature of it or the nature of it that Janine would wish it to be.
Catherine, who do you accuse?
I am sticking with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Because of the phone call, Catherine?
It was you brought it up this time. What makes it?
Oh, it's like having a cup of tea with my mum. It's brilliant. You brought it up, Susan.
It's something about the sum of money that the corpse finds that she's going to have and she can lend her friend, that she's not going to buy the gallery, and I think that's what's tipped him off.
OK. Wisdom, who are you accusing?
Bob.
Bob.
I want to stick with him.
Because?
The whole creepy, stalkery text message, the whole concern of, just want to make sure you're OK. You're sending 4 text messages to her a day.
OK. Well, before we go to Mortcliffe for the answer, there's one final piece of evidence left hanging on the board. Darren's watch. Spot anything there at all? Bollocks. Does it change your mind about anything? No? OK. So, what really happened in today's story, Watercolour Crime? Who killed Patricia Frint? Let's find out who done it.
That was an expensive watch she was wearing.
And he had several still in their boxes on his desk.
Why several?
He was smuggling them, wasn't he?
Most definitely so.
So he needed the painting to get rid of all the evidence. Certainly went to extraordinary lengths.
He did have an alibi, though, according to his secretary.
According to Simmons' report, Patricia was strangled with thin but strong string.
String strong enough to hang a painting.
I like your thinkings later.
Thank you, sir. Have a look at this for me, sir. Look at the last message Patricia sent to Bob.
Bob did say it was harsh.
Yeah, but look at the way Patricia sent her messages to other people. Here's one to Janine.
What's she thinking?
Well, Patricia was old school, right? She didn't abbreviate. When Bob said she didn't seem herself in her last text message, that's because it wasn't actually her sending the text, it was Jeffrey.
Why do you need me?
I don't know, sir. I really don't.
Why did you strangle Patricia Frint?
That's ludicrous.
Is it? Patricia Frint said Bob hands her a text message telling him to leave her alone at about 3 o'clock.
You should be talking to Bob, not me.
Well, the only problem is Patricia was already dead by then, meaning she couldn't have sent the text message.
You had the means and the opportunity. We know that after the burglary, Patricia was having second thoughts about buying the gallery.
That's your fault.
Why is it my fault?
Patricia came to tell you as much. You did your best to persuade her to buy, that the theft was a one-off. But she was insistent.
Stuff is gone. End of contract. End of conversation. Goodbye.
We are confiscating your car in order to search for Patricia's DNA.
You drove your car to Patricia's house, then sent a message from her phone, believing that the location of her phone made a difference.
You waited for nightfall before you threw Patricia's body into the water.
My son had asked me to go and live with him and his family in Spain. Selling the gallery was the only way I could afford it. Patricia Frint, she led me on.
That's no justification for strangling her, Mr. Fraser. I'm arresting you for the murder of Patricia Frint.
Congratulations, Catherine. You picked the killer and are today's winner and get your first golden magnifying glass trophy. Give her a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Wisdom. You don't look very happy at me. It's not my fault. Roger, I mean, I loved you picking Janine out of nowhere at the end there. I enjoyed that. So that's all from Armchair Detectives. Tomorrow we'll see Knight and Slater get their hands dirty at an inventor's workshop. And remember, no one gets away with murder in Mortcliffe. Goodbye.
Well, if that's just whet your appetite for detective work, head over to BBC Two now, where WPC 56 is about to embark on her first day as a bona fide policewoman. Here later this evening, a right royal romance, Elizabeth and Philip, Love and Duty on BBC One is at 9.